Hello everyone, I hope you are doing great and enjoying your running, enjoying your training, whatever that is that you are doing. I wanted to check in this week and talk a little bit more about nutrition and then talk about kind of what I have a new series for us that I want to be talking about into the fall and ending summer. But for nutrition, continuing that, going back to Mary's famous worksheets. If you have those, please keep those, print those out, keep them somewhere handy so that you can really be utilizing them with your training. But what I want to talk about today is practicing our nutrition and what do we do when things kind of go sideways. So part of the reason we're practicing is actually to prepare. So we want to have as much experience with our nutrition in our training so that when we get into our race that we're as ready as we can be. So sometimes things go wrong, and I think that actually is a really good thing. I think things are actually going right when they're not necessarily working out, because we have an opportunity to learn and have an opportunity to just practice our mental skills in when things aren't working out with our nutrition, and regroup. So that's what I want to talk about today, is regrouping. So if you're out, if you're putting your nutrition into practice, and a couple things, maybe you just forget and an hour's gone by and you haven't drank any of your fluids, you haven't taken in any of your nutrition. Don't just throw it away. Don't throw the workout away. Don't throw practicing nutrition away. Just take that at that point. Say, okay, here I am, kind of like in a week where workouts haven't gone very well. Just say, okay, here we are in the week. Let's just move forward from where we're at. And so that's what I would want you to do, is just get right back into your plan. So if you're an hour into your plan and you realize, oh my gosh, I got distracted, I was listening to a really good podcast and I forgot to eat, well, then just start eating and don't worry too much about making it up. I mean, you can try to add a little bit more calories. The problem with that is if you go from, not having eaten anything and your plan is 300 calories an hour, and now all of a sudden you're putting in 600 calories an hour to make up for it, that might be too much. It might be an overload on your stomach. So I would say either just start just right where you're at, go get back into the 300 calories an hour. You could add a little bit more. So maybe try like 400 calories instead of 300 over the course of the rest of your run, so that you're actually getting in all that nutrition that you need. But mostly the big point is just don't give up, just start eating. The other thing is it's a great experience. You might have an experience out in a race where you run out of food or you don't feel good, so you can't eat for an hour. And then all of a sudden you can eat again. So that's just good experience in knowing, okay, I can do this, I can eat, I can pick up where I left off, and it's just great training. So regroup, just remember, just keep focusing forward, keep looking down the road, keep looking towards the finish line, and look at it all as a growing experience. The other tip I want to give you also is that your wrappers and your food containers, if you can, keep those with you. So, give yourself your goal and pack all that. Say you're going out for a long run, you put it in your vest or however you're going to carry it, and then keep those wrappers with you. I like to package my food in measurable containers. So if I am, a lot of times like gels and things like that, we know how many gels, we know what is in them, because they give us the nutrition information. I do Pop-Tarts a lot for my long runs, and so I just know if I have a baggie, how many I keep in each baggie. So if I'm doing a run where I'm trying to measure how much I'm having, then I have one pocket in my vest where all the garbage goes, and I can pull that out at the end, and then I know how much I've had. And we actually use that for the first part of Black Canyon last year. Marley was taking all of all of the empty wrappers to calculate how much nutrition that I had for the race. So it's a really good way to keep track of what you're doing. If you can, get those in, put those in your long run notes, what you had, how much you've had, and where I can, I will offer you coaching, suggestions is the word I'm looking for, of how you might improve upon that, where you might want to make some shifts in your training. Courtney had the great idea, I think I shared that a couple weeks ago, she said she takes a picture of her watch and a picture of her food, and that way she has the time and she has the picture, so then you could throw those wrappers away. So that's another option for that. So remember, you can always regroup, you can always keep moving forward, and then remember, keep track of what you're eating, especially on those long runs, so we can evaluate and make any changes we need to, and just keep improving on those as you're getting ready for your goals. A couple just other housekeeping notes. I do have that shirt order open still. If you're interested in getting a Blue Fire shirt, there's tank tops, there's cotton t-shirts for both men and women cut, there's a hoodie sweatshirt, and there's also race weight shirts. So if you'd like to do that, I'll put the link again in our email. The other thing I wanted to share with you guys was something I heard, was just a great reminder from a coach of a professional triathlete. I was listening to a podcast this morning, and he was just talking about how important the little things are. That in 8 weeks of training, your fitness will definitely improve, and you might feel some significant changes. But what is important also are the little things that we do. So I think one of the little things is just being consistent with our training. Other little things are doing strength training, our nutrition, like I was just saying, putting those nutrition things in so we can make adjustments. You can make a lot of change in your overall training and racing by paying attention to little things. And so we're gonna do a series on our weekly updates of little things, all little things that we can be paying attention to through our training. And I don't want it to feel overwhelming. Sometimes we hear all these little things and it feels like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna incorporate those? And so we'll talk about how we incorporate those, how we can incorporate little things, little details into our everyday training, into our everyday lives, and that it doesn't feel overwhelming, and it just makes it a part of our healthy lives. I think that's about it for today. Please let me know if you have any questions. Please note, there are daily 20s now in your training plans, and there's a video to those. So each week has a 20-minute session of some foam rolling tips, strength. It's really more of a physical therapy kind of strength, not like a strength training session, but just some small things we can do each day, speaking of little things, and then also some stretches that you can incorporate. So you guys have a great week. You guys are amazing. You're just doing wonderful things. I love seeing your comments. I love seeing your workouts, and just keep up the great work. Talk to you soon.